Here we are in the heart of Whitechapel. Keep an eye on your wallet, Holmes. This area is the highest for pickpockets in all of the kingdom.
Don't worry about my wallet, Watson. It would be easier to move Big Ben than to steal from me.
Or to borrow a shilling from you.
Amusing, Watson. Really very amusing. Can we move on to more serious matters?
I'm listening, Holmes.
Welcome back to Whitechapel. And it's a pretty fairly accurate representation from what we saw in the Jack the Ripper case, but the streets are still lively, but a lot more varied. Now, before I go on, I mentioned in the thread that I started this game but had never completed it, and the reason why, one thing that I mentioned in the thread earlier today, is that in this area in particular, there is a game-breaking bug, which, if you manually save or if the autosave comes into play, then 9 times out of 10 the game crashes. So I decided to do a test run before work, and it ended up with me spending more time trying to fix this problem than actually doing a test run. I did find a solution, and I will put a link in the description of this video and in the thread of how to fix it if you do experience it yourself. But the second half of this video is potentially me actually winging the game itself, as I did not actually complete a successful test run before work. Anyway, on with the game. Now we can get another honour just by talking to random people.
Please excuse us, sir.
Bucks Row, where Polly Nichols met her death under the knife of the Ripper.
You can explore Whitechapel, well, explore a fair amount of Whitechapel from what we saw before, but I believe we are now entering from the opposite area, which you will see when we move further downwards.
You ain't from round here. You shouldn't stay here. It ain't healthy.
Queue up like everyone else. They'll only hire the first one anyway.
And there is the honour. It's just attained by speaking to random people. Now, the clinic is on the right hand side. When we saw it in Jack the Ripper, it was, well, we started down the other end near the police station. Is this where Solomonovich used to be? And the vet's down here. And I believe this is where the butcher's was.
Here's the public dispensary that we're looking for.
I can't even remember the name of the chap who was here the last time.
This stove is hardly working. That would explain the damp around here.
Incredible. My colleague could at least keep a good fire going for his patients. Good day. Please excuse us. Oh, Grant, is it you?
Yes, but wait a moment. Watson. It's been years. Since the Faculty of Medicine, if my memory serves me right.
Yes, we were young and ambitious. I didn't expect to find you here. I thought you had gone to America.
No. I find that I prefer the filth here, amputating gangrenous legs.
Ah,
I'm joking, Watson. Unfortunately, I was unable to leave for Washington. I had to give up surgery. So instead, I crouched down in this rat hole, rubbing shoulders with the world's misery.
Grant, treating those in need is a noble calling. You underestimate the importance of your work.
If you say so. It's true that in the beginning I felt as you do, but as time goes by, the more this cursed area seems like hell. You think that nothing can get worse, and the next day you see that it can. Now famine has hit these poor wretches.
One can't always do as one might prefer when one is a doctor.
Grant, I'd like to introduce you to Sherlock Holmes.
Pleased to meet you. Well, no one comes here by chance, therefore I imagine that you need something in particular. How can I help you?
Dr. Grant, we are in possession of a scalpel which was found in an unusual location. Does it come from your dispensary, as we believe?
From its mark, I'd say it was stolen from us. A lot of things disappear from here, you understand. Life is hard in Whitechapel. When the staff find a way of adding to their salary, they rarely hesitate to do so.
Thank you, Doctor. Farewell, Doctor.
See you soon, perhaps. And take care of yourself.
A circulating soup kitchen.
Oi, oi! We're giving out free soup after Mass, right here. Don't hesitate. Come get yours. All thanks to Prince Woodville's kind generosity. A ticket for a hot bowl of bacon soup.
Excuse me, my good fellow.
You don't look like the needy.
We're not here for the soup, we're merely passing through. But I would like to commend you for your good charity.
It's the Prince of Woodville who's the charitable one. All I'm doing is filling the bowls. For the first time ever in this area, someone's thinking of the poor people here. Look around you. At every street corner, you'll find someone giving out soup just like me. I grew up here, and I can promise you, it's the first time the toffs have thought about us.
And no one tries to take advantage of this?
No, mister, that's not possible. You have to exchange a ticket against a bowl. The tickets have the day's date on them and are handed out after Mass. That way no one can cheat.
Holmes, the man from the soup kitchen isn't only in voluntary service. Look,
A money game.
Thankfully, the cemetery is not too far away.
Buy my flowers, my lord, for your dear departed.
As I said at the start of the video, oop,
this cemetery is the very image of Whitechapel. Sinister, frightening, and ill-kept. What a terrible place for one's final rest.
At least hunger no longer gnaws at them.
yeah, I've not been able to explore Whitechapel that much so far, but I will when I have more time.
Let us see if the elements analysed in Baker Street and this cemetery have something in common. This rope is only worn on one side. This rope is only worn on one side. The rope used to tie up the Bishop of Knightsbridge came from this cemetery. It is only worn on the one side because it is used to lower coffins into graves. Impossible to open it. A leaflet for the soup kitchen. This leaflet is dated for the day after tomorrow. The tickets for the soup kitchen are given out on the same day. Only somebody who works there could have written on it. This shovel belongs to the cemetery workers. Let us see if the elements analysed in Baker Street and this cemetery have something in common. Earth freshly turned over, still damp. black and damp earth. This dark, damp earth is the same type as that which was found at the Bishop of Knightsbridge's home.
It came from a grave, then. Oh, what a lovely thought.
This must be the gravedigger's cabin.
Well, judging by the state of this place, they don't work very often.
Let us see if the elements analysed in Baker Street and this cemetery have something in common.
Well, this piece looks like it would fit.
Granite. Black paint. These stones are of the same granite. The same black paint covers these stones. This black painted stone is identical to the fragments found in the rope which we analysed at Baker Street and in the footprints of the Bishop of Knightsbridge's murderers. Everything coincides, Watson. The fragments of granite at the bishop's home came from the tombstones of this cemetery.
As well as the rope that was used to restrain the poor man. One of those used to lower the coffins.
I can think of only two reasons why anyone should happen to spend a great deal of time in a cemetery. Either he is at rest here, or he works here. At least one of the bishop's murderers is employed here.
A shame. If he was at rest here, it would have made our job easier.
Now that we have found a voucher for the soup kitchen, for the wagon, let's go back and speak to our friend here.
Aren't you going to leave me alone? Can't you see I'm busy? A bowl of good bacon soup isn't for you, gentlemen.
We're looking for two people called Grape Ape and Kurtz. Do you know them?
Can't you see I'm giving out soup? You again. You can't have any soup, you're too rich. It's for the poor, not the toffs.
And what would you say to relieving two toffs of their wallets by giving them a chance at dice?
With great pleasure. What do you want to bet?
Your ring against my friend's superb silver watch.
Holmes! I inherited this watch from my brother. It has a great sentimental value.
Watson, show your watch to our friend here.
Done. Make yourselves at home. All right, mister. First who gets 36 points wins.
It's not exactly descriptive of just how to get to 36 points. What we need to do is roll the dice, and this dice has the numbers between 1 and 5, and also the 6 is replaced by a skull. What we need to do is add up the numbers that we get on the dice, and the first to reach 36 wins. Now, if we get a skull, we lose all the points that we've accumulated on this round, and we have the option to store what we have gained during one round, just in case we land on a skull. Now, I managed to do this first time around, and on my practice runs, I had a lot of bad luck with the RNG. And during the previous recording, I did it first time, so let's see how it goes this time. Nice. Dare I? Okay, that'll do for now. Oh. So I just need 6.
Perfect.
Aren't you going to leave me alone? Can't you see I'm busy?
Now that went alright, actually.
We win.
Hey, not so fast. We'll play again.
Out of the question. You have lost. You owe me your ring.
Oh, it means a lot to me, this ring. Me dad gave it me before he died. He choked on his own glass eye. Me mum didn't get over the shock of it, and she killed herself by smashing her head open with her wooden leg. And she'd only just heard that me sister, who's a prostitute, had caught an embarrassing disease that made all her hair fall out. And worse, our dog got run over when he...
As this ring holds such sentimental value for you, I will allow you to keep it. What would you say to exchanging that against some information about Grape Ape? That seems like a fair deal, don't you think?
Yeah, Grape Ape works with us. He usually deals with the tickets, but we haven't seen him for a few days.
Where is he usually to be found?
Well, last time I saw him, he was with his mates from the dispensary, them that deal with the morgue. Now, that's all I know.
It is quite good enough. Keep your ring, my good man, as a souvenir of your poor father.
A souvenir of me dad, me mum, me sister, and me dog.
One further thing. You said that Grape Ape's friends work at the morgue. Which morgue?
The morgue at the dispensary. I must say, they got a funny job. They wash the dead, dress them, cut their hair. They clean the blood off the floor, chase the rats, stamp on the cockroaches. Mister, I can tell ya, I prefer giving out soup.
There isn't a certain curse amongst the employees.
Listen, we didn't play for info about the whole city. I'm not telling you anything else.
The dispensary has got its own morgue. Interesting.
Well, yeah, I've just told you so. It's the one that all the undertakers prefer. Think about it. It's just next to the cemetery.
Thank you, my good man. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, mister.
I'm starving. Help me for pity's sake.
Wait, hold on. Are they the same characters? Or character models?
How can I help you?
Tell me, Doctor, do you have a morgue in your dispensary?
Yes, it is the busiest place in the building.
We would like to see it.
The door at the far end. The one with the unpleasant smell.
Very good. Farewell, Doctor.
See you soon, perhaps. And take care of yourself.
Like all the sick lying here, this person is very quiet.
Not surprising, Holmes, this person is too weak. She's obviously suffering from malnutrition, and for more than a few weeks now. Look, Holmes, a list of the recently dead. How sad.
I see names that have something in common.
I understand now why my colleague keeps quiet about his morgue. This place is a real mess.
Concentrate, Watson. We must look for clues about Grape Ape's friends.
Is it a mess? It looks relatively tidy to me.
Look at the state of the instruments. They've probably never been cleaned.
Okay. Maybe those tools do look a mess. Right, it's now time to perform an autopsy of our own.
A small metal stem. 2 keys.
Well, well, this Kurtz was carrying a lot of things.
This is Kurtz's overall, so he really does work at the morgue. Strange that he left his overall here.
Holmes, this is Kurtz. We've just found one of the Bishop of Nicebridge's murderers.
Perfect.
And that looks like a plan of the cemetery.
I'm starving. Help me for pity's sake.
For some reason, the mouse wheel is not working for the inventory.
Perfect. It's open. Here, this hut is on the map. Let us search it from top to bottom, Watson.
Oh, what a jumble. How is it that there is no room in this cemetery?
Impossible to open it.
Bags filled with nails. There are a lot of them. Well, really.
I can see a large crack. I'll need something thin. A hole was drilled a short while ago. There is a sack inside this hole. Let us see what is inside it.
We are making headway. How do we know what this means?
This message confirms that we are on the right track.
Valuable objects. But what are they doing here?
So I believe we need to find the lover's tree, which I could be wrong, but this looks like it is what we're looking for.
Here is our tree. Let us examine the inscriptions.
I believe there was a Sally and John on the mortuary death list.
Sally and John. This design was the last to be done. Sally and John is engraved here as a symbol of their love. Nothing of interest here. Yes, it must be there. This shovel belongs to the cemetery workers.
You frighten me, Holmes.
This must be the grave. Dig quickly, Watson.
Very well, Holmes.